Hello and welcome everyone to this week's episode of the podcast, and a very happy Christmas. If you are listening the day this comes out, it is Christmas Day. Very exciting. I hope you are having a wonderful time wherever you are, whatever you are doing. And today we wanted to have a bit of fun. We did this last year and it was great. So we have a crew here from Jewellery Academy, a mixture of mentors and teachers and people who work on the staffing team, and we are doing a fun festive quiz today, and we would love you guys to join in. So this is just a little bit of fun for the festive season. So it is a jewellery quiz, of course. We're going to be asking questions to do with jewellery making, maybe jewellery business, some other bits and pieces. So do grab a pen and paper if you'd like to take part, or you can do it in your head if you're traveling. And we look forward to kind of, hearing the answers. So we have with us today a wonderful team. We have the amazing Julia Ray. Welcome, Julia.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. We have Tori. Welcome, Tori. We have April, who is one of the mentors. And we have the wonderful Anna Campbell. Welcome, Anna.
Hello.
Great to see you guys. And this is going out on YouTube, so you'll be able to see the video of us, or you can listen on the podcast and get the audio as well. So how it's going to work, we all have some questions and we're going to be asking them, and then we'll just have like a short period of time to jot them down, maybe 20 seconds or so, and then we're going to do the answers right away. So as we go through, we're going to kind of hear what our answers are or what we think they are. And I think it's quite interesting. So I was saying just before we came on, it's like a mixture of expertise in the crew today. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of questions we've got for each other, and I think we'll learn something. I know last year I learned loads from doing the quiz, so brilliant to have you all with us today. All right, should we get into it? Are we ready to go?
Let's do this.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, April, would you like to kick us off with the first question?
Absolutely. Okay. So what are the 4 C's? And if you need a clue as to what that refers to, let me know. But yeah, so name the 4 C's.
So this is for like diamond grading.
Yes. Yeah.
Grading. Hope I'm not giving away. I think I'm not, because
no, you're not. No, I was going to say, if you needed a clue, it would be to do with diamond grading. So there's 4 C's. So basically name those.
And this is how, if we're choosing our diamond for our engagement ring and we want the best one, we want all of these C's to be like the highest.
That's it. Yeah, they vary a lot. So you can sort of use a sliding scale when you're choosing sort of for budget, or choose between these 4 C's. I'm not going to give it away, it's hard not to say what they are, but yeah, you can kind of switch and change between these 4 C's to kind of get budget wise and visual wise what you're after.
And I guess some people prefer some of them to be more or less than others, and they make up the rich tapestry of what that diamond or gemstone is.
Exactly, yeah. And it's sort of the way they use this sort of scale as well, referring to these 4 C's, will be sort of universally read across the jewelry industry. So there's it's a kind of language to use between client and suppliers and all sorts. So yeah.
Awesome. And before we go into the answer, why did you choose this question, April?
Well, if anyone knows sort of my work, I do a lot of engagement rings, but I also have a massive interest in gemstones, especially diamonds. And I just find it so interesting. Once you start delving in, there's so much to learn, but this is sort of the base level. I think it's great for everybody just to have a bit of a knowledge of these 4 C's. And yeah, you can sort of just go on forever learning about it also. Yeah, I just have a personal interest.
Great. I'm sure you're not the only one.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Okay, so guys, how did you get on? Do you feel like you have all 4?
It took me ages to get the 4th one, but
yeah, even I did that. When I was thinking of the answer, I was like, what is that last one? And yeah.
I feel like the last one, you could call it something else as well. Yeah, and I have to say I am cheating because I have a lot of questions, but this was one of the questions I had, so I already have the answers. So, but I'd be interested to know. So Julia, maybe you could share one of your 4 C's.
Well, my first thought was Christmas crackers create chaos, but then I got serious about it. So clarity.
Yeah, that is absolutely one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how clear the stone is, no inclusions or inclusions.
Yeah, so it's that sliding scale, and they are graded clarity wise from F, which is flawless, down to I3, which is included, to a scale of 3. And that will just be the sort of natural inclusions or blemishes or marks, or even sort of marks from polishing, or anything in relation to that you can see within the diamond. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. We've got one. Anna, do you have one?
Well, I don't know if it is one, but I was thinking carat weight.
Yeah, absolutely. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, so, and that one, as you may or may not know, refers to the weight, of a diamond, in this case of the 4 C's, but also for any gemstone. And that's basically, if you imagine your carat weight is out of 100, for example, 100 equals 1 carat, and then say, for example, 10 would equal 0.10, so 0.10 of a carat. So it's almost like pounds and pence in a way. Your pence kind of add up to the carat weight. So 25 points would be 0.25 of a carat. So yeah.
Because not all diamonds are a whole carat.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can go all the way from 0.001 all the way up to goodness knows. So yeah, it's an interesting way to scale it.
Yes, love it. Okay, so we've got 2. We've got clarity, we have carat. Tori, do you have one?
Cut.
Yes.
Hey, that was the one that I've struggled to get.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's kind of like the most obvious one, isn't it? Yeah, it's kind of obvious that you forget about it. Yeah, so that's how your stone or your diamond is cut and potentially faceted. Obviously, you can get cabochons, but yeah, so you might say a round, brilliant cut, or an emerald cut, or princess cut. Yeah, that relates to shape.
And I'm cheating because I know, but I'm going to do the last one because it's a fun one, which is colour.
Yes. Exactly.
This we talked about a lot in the quiz last year, actually. There was lots of talk of pink diamonds and blue diamonds, and, but also even with a clear diamond, there's different colours, aren't there, April?
Yeah, so when we're talking about clear diamonds, they are graded from D to Z. So D is your sort of 0 colour. That's the most desirable colour, quote unquote. And then Z is when it starts to get very yellow. So you end up getting, in terms of grading, D, E, F are categorised as sort of your top 3. And then you have the middle, which is G, H, I. Yeah, so that's sort of a standard commercial quality colour. And then, yeah, they sort of end up going more yellow to brown. And then they end up being fancy colour, sort of yellow or brown, when they get much lower sort of down the alphabet. And for some reason, it doesn't start at A. I'm sure there's an answer to why that is, but yeah.
We like to keep things interesting with jewellery. Yeah. We don't want it to make logical sense too much.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Okay, great question, April. So that you guys at home, hopefully you also got the 4 C's. So colour, clarity, cut, and carat weight. And yeah, thanks for the question. Although I did quite enjoy Julia's Christmas cracker take as well. So Julia, would you like to ask a question next?
Yeah, okay. So I have here 3 sets of nuts and bolts, steel nuts and bolts.
Okay.
You see them?
Just about, yes.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
And bolts, like from a hardware store.
Yeah. 3 sets of nuts and bolts. So what would a metal clay artist be likely to use these for? And there are at least two potential answers to this.
Ooh, two answers. Okay, so what would a metal clay artist use nuts and bolts for? And again, I feel like I'm cheating because I feel like I know at least one of the answers.
I think you do.
But interesting. I guess in jewelry making, not just, around the house.
Yes. Well, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll give you guys a little bit of time to come up with the answer. And Julia, why did you ask this question? Although I kind of feel like I know why you asked it, and you probably can't answer without answering.
No, but because it's one of the things that's very, very dear to my heart anyway. Because I love, obviously, I'm a metal clay artist at heart anyway. And I do love using these kind of things. I love using anything that's lying about the house with metal clay, and so I have these two ways of using it that I really enjoy doing in my own work. So there we go.
Cool. All right, hopefully that's been about 20 seconds. I am making up the time as we go. So does anyone have any answers? Maybe we'll start with someone who's not a metal clay artist, just to make it hard. April, I'm going to pick on you.
Well done. I haven't done a huge amount of metal clay, so these are complete guesses. So I've got two thoughts. One would be maybe clamping together like molds or dies or something, if you're kind of like making a little mold with the metal clay. And my other thought would be maybe using them for like stamping or texture or something like that. They're my two guesses.
Interesting. And they make sense, those guesses, don't they, based on metal clay, because we're always using texture. We won't answer just yet. We'll go around everyone's. Tori, what about you?
I know one of them, but I can't think of a second one. So for making like threads, for like replicating the threads of the screw to make a screw top vessel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for a course maybe coming up.
Yeah, and here's one.
There it is.
So Julia is showing us, for anyone listening on the podcast, one of her lidded vessels, which is one of the masterclasses in the metal clay diploma, which we filmed with Julia. So
yes, indeed.
Use the kind of nut and bolt to make the screw for the lid.
And here's a little molded one. So this is in the careful. This is in the in the dry clay.
There we go.
And it's a nut and bolt combo. Okay.
And I've got the notes to do for that course, and I have been thinking, how on earth do you make the screw and the threads? And well, there you go. Now you know.
Indeed.
There we go.
For anything else, I don't know.
I'm with you, Tori. I knew that one, but I can't think of another reason. But maybe Anna can. I don't know. Thoughts, Anna?
Yeah, I was thinking about texture as well. I was agreeing with April that there's lots of different ways of using them. They may be rolling it in texture or stamping or just creating something a little bit more unique, I think. So that's how I would think of it. I can't think of another one, but I'm sure Julia's got another one.
Yeah. Julia, tell us the answer.
Okay. So the final one is micro nuts and bolts. So this is a tiny little micro nut and bolt combo here. And these can be used to make something that will attach to multimedia. Can you see here?
So you attach it to like a leather piece. So it's
correct.
Like a connection.
So you can see the bolts here, and the nuts are embedded in the metal clay piece. They will fire in place. So I've got a couple here that you can see. This is that in focus there?
Yeah.
And this is a fired piece, and in the back you can see the nuts and bolts. Sorry, the nuts.
It's a little tricky to see, but we believe you. It's in there.
Yeah, it's hard. And I've got a little piece here that is unfired that has this is something I'm working on. This is a little face, and there's embedded inside here are two nuts, and that will attach to something else.
So you can actually leave them in the clay and fire them in there.
You can fire them in place. Yeah, they because they are steel, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then you just attach them through whatever, or you can attach both a nut and a bolt into two separate, embed them in two separate metal clay pieces, and then those will go together. So if you've got a long micron bolt, you can actually put a bead in the center or something like that. So you've got you make two ends, and then you've got something interchangeable.
Wonderful. How exciting. Lots of design possibilities there. Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you for the question, Julia. We've learned something there. Next up, Tori, would you like to share a question with us?
Absolutely. So what is the term for the technique when it comes to stone setting? So small gemstones that are set covering a surface entirely, creating a really dazzling, sparkling effect.
Ooh.
Got a bit of a French accent.
Oh. Okay.
Completely gives it away.
Okay, great. I like it. I like the question. Before we say what the answer is, do you like this technique, Tori?
Yes and no. We did it in the advanced diploma, and I really liked doing it on a ring. I like doing it on the curved surface, but we did it flat as well, and that was really painful. So yes and no.
Okay, right. like it on the curve, not so much on the flat. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Okay, hopefully everyone's had enough time. Who knows the answer? Who would like to come forward?
I think I know it. I hope I know it. I think
you know it as well. Go for it, April.
Is it pave?
Yay!
Yay! Good job. Yeah, so pave setting,
Exactly.
like Tori said, super sparkly, often covers like the whole area of a piece, lots of tiny little gemstones together, very intricate to do, but can be incredible. And actually, if anyone saw the Jeweller's Retreat, which we're kind of in the middle of still, we've got one more episode to go. In the next episode, there is some of this coming up. So very exciting to have a look at. Brilliant. And well done for doing a pave setting, Tori, because it is not easy to do on any setting. Brilliant. All righty, we are moving through them. Next up, Anna, would you like to share a question?
Yes, so I've got a question, and I'm going to give you parameters because it's going to be just a guess. And it's not, it's kind of jewelry related, and it is, how much gold does the Bank of England have in reserve? So we'll put it between 10 tons of gold and 400 tons of gold. So how much do they have in their vault somewhere?
Gosh, okay, so this is like the gold bars.
Yeah.
Fun fact, while people are coming up with their answers, in my business studies A-level class, we went to the Bank of England and looked at some of the gold, which was very cool as our little trip. We didn't see all of it, obviously. They didn't let A-level students go and look at all of the gold, but I think there was at least one bar and maybe a few other bits and pieces. So they do actually have some of it still there, although I think they used to have all of it there. And my understanding is now it's not all in solid gold. Although I didn't carry on with my economic studies, so not entirely sure. Okay, so somewhere between, did you say 10 tons and
10 and 400, let's say.
400. Okay, it's definitely going to be a guess from me. I'm going to go high. Why not? Maybe not 400. I'll go 350. There we go. That's my hat in the ring. Julia, what's yours?
I'm going to go a bit lower than that. I'm going to go 150. Okay,
great. 150. Tori, what's yours?
I'm going to go in the middle of you two and go 200.
Okay, great. So we've got, are you jotting these down, Anna? No.
I'm not, but...
We've got a mental note. And April, what about you?
Yeah, I was going to edge my bets and go 200, but I've changed it to 150. So
okay.
It's Julia.
Oh, I bet it's like 10 now. Tell us, Anna, what is the answer?
It's 310. So I think Jess was the closest.
It's quite a lot.
310 tons.
I could make a lot of rings with that. Yeah, we could do a lot of stuff with that. It's just sat there. but
I'm holding it.
I'm sure it's for a good reason.
I wonder, is that all in one place then? It must be.
I don't know about that. I think I would guess not, but I don't know. But that's how much they've kind of got that they're not selling, and it's hold in reserve. So
I wonder how much that's worth.
Yeah.
I wonder what carat gold it is. So many questions. We have so many follow-up questions. Yeah, I'd love to know at home what you guys guessed as well. If you're listening, do come and share on Instagram or Facebook if you had a listen what some of your answers were, because it'd be nice to see them too. Brilliant questions though, guys. Okay, so I have a question, and this is a jewelry making question. I have a business one as well for in a little bit. So we've recently filmed some enamelling with Joy Funnell for the metal clay diploma. So it's an enamelling question, but it's quite an easy one, I think, because I know that we're not all enamelers here. So I would like you all to name 3 items you need when enamelling. So if you jot down or have a think in your head, what are 3 items that you need for enamelling? And you guys at home can have a guess, or perhaps you are avid enamelers and already know what they will be. So I'll give you just a couple of moments to come up with that. But we already have an enamelling class. So we filmed one, I think a year or 2 ago with Michelle Lever. She actually has 2 classes, a beginner's enamelling and an intermediate one. Beautiful projects, wonderful technique. But this one with Joy Funnell was about enamelling on metal clay. And she also added some extra techniques in there and just made a very gorgeous project. So I'm excited for you guys to see that when it comes out. So do you have your 3 items? Yes? Okay. All right. Tori, do you want to kick us off with your 3?
Yeah, so I am technically cheating a little bit because I'm getting enamelling stuff for my Christmas present. It's written a shopping list. So a firing fork, some diagrit, and a pestle and mortar.
Okay, love that. Can you tell us what they are, just for anyone?
Yeah, so a firing fork you would use to put like the enamel piece into the kiln. Keep your hands away. Diagrit is for, oh, this is like a test. It's for like cleaning up pieces after you've fired them, and then pestle and mortar is for doing like grinding up the enamel with some water to make like a paste for doing like wet.
Prepare the enamels, and wash them. Yeah, awesome, great. Okay, April, what are your 3?
I don't know whether you need this, but I've put kiln. I think you do.
You do need a kiln.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't know
usually. Torch fired enamels, but which Julia knows all about. But generally, you need a kiln for enamelling.
Okay, kiln. And then I put prongs tweezers, which I now know are called firing tongs. I think you said, Tori.
Firing fork.
Yeah. And I put a brush to brush the enamel on. I don't know whether. Yeah, I've done it a long time ago, but it's a long time ago. So
yeah, a very fine brush, ideally, very delicate, fine brush. So brilliant, well done. Anna, do you have 3?
I had a couple of those, but I've got a couple more, so that's good. I often use like a kind of almost like a goose quill for kind of packing the enamel in. So you can use a tool similar to that, but a goose quill is something that is used a lot. And then they also have a kind of, what do we call it? I think it's called like a stilt, which is just to hold the piece on so that you hold it flat as you're putting it into the kiln and bringing it out of the kiln as well. So it's kind of like, it's like a metal piece that can go into the heat to hold it in place.
Absolutely, you can use.
Oh, and I guess I'd say distilled water for cleaning in the pestle and mortar for cleaning the glass as it is the enamel.
Absolutely, yes, correct. And with the stilt, you can use a stilt or you can use like a wire mesh, but you're right, something to keep it really flat as you go in, because you don't want to knock those enamels around. Brilliant, you guys are doing a great job. And Julia, do you have any any additional ones? I know it's harder to be last, but you've done some enamelling, so I feel like
I have, yeah. Yeah, I had the mortar and pestle. A trivet is what I would call the stilt that you're talking about. It's like a little gizmo that you can keep your piece straight on. So I had that, and also grading sieves, so you can actually grade the different enamel powders down through the levels of fineness.
And so if you put it through a sieve, you have a finer powder, and if it's a kind of a more coarser one, you get a different effect, won't you, with your
and sometimes it's about how you're grading your colors and things like that. So if you're doing gradations in color sometimes, or you're doing very, very fine designs and that sort of thing, so all of those things come into play. But
Brilliant.
I also have done the torch fire enamelling, which I love doing, and I much prefer that, really, if I can get away with it, rather than kiln firing.
Yeah.
Only for flat pieces.
Yeah, so we have expert enamelers here, which is great.
I'm not go as far as to say that, but I can add colour.
Well done. Okay, great. We have all done a question each. We're going to do one more round, and then I have some quickfire questions at the end. So let's go. We'll go in a similar order. So April, do you have another question for us, please?
Do indeed, and it's another 4. So must have been thinking about that when I was putting the questions together. So I've put, where are the 4 current assay offices in England? And a little bonus, if possible, can you name their symbols? Vice versa. Some people might know the symbols, but not the location. And so, yeah, we'll see how many we can get.
Great question. Love that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Maybe we should do one each.
Yeah.
Based on our location.
Yeah.
Where's your closest one? Yeah.
My closest one is actually only a couple of streets away from where I live, weirdly.
Walk there.
Yeah, I do. I walk past it all the time.
Amazing. Oh, it's awesome. Yeah. Okay. So for anyone who doesn't know, the assay office is where you get a hallmark. So if you have silver or gold jewelry and you're selling it and you're calling it silver or gold, you need to have it hallmarked over a certain weight. Especially in the UK and some other countries, there's different legislation. And so you send or take your pieces there, and they stamp it to say what purity the metal is, and a few other things, the location of it all. So there are 4 offices in the UK that do this, as April has said. Okay, so what are the 4? Anna, since yours is 2 streets away, why don't you kick us off with your one?
Yes, well, let's represent Scotland here. So the only one in Scotland is in Edinburgh, and the mark is a castle.
Awesome.
That is correct.
There we go. Tori, do you have an assay office near you? And if so, you've got 2.
Yeah. And well, 2 are near.
And do you know the mark of either of them?
Yeah, so I'll go, the closest one is Sheffield for me, and the symbol is a rose, a Yorkshire rose.
Ah, there we go. Beautiful. So we've got Edinburgh, we've got Sheffield. Julia, do you have one near you, and/or another one that you know about?
Well, I'm going to go London.
Oh, okay.
I know. And I think it's a lion, isn't it?
It is a lion.
Yeah. It's actually a leopard head, I think.
You could be right.
Yes, yeah, right. It's a leopard head.
Yeah. I think I always thought that too. And when I started looking into it, it's a leopard head, interestingly. So
yeah. I should definitely know that one, because the jewellery school was 1 street away from that assay. I was many times. So we've had London, Edinburgh, I was about to say the other one, Sheffield, and there is one in Cardiff as well. Is that right?
Birmingham. I believe there was one.
That does make sense, because the jewellery quarter's in Birmingham. See, I only know London. I'm a Londoner. Anything outside of London, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Okay, so Birmingham. Oh, I don't know the symbol. Tell me, I'd love to know.
Yeah, so the symbol for Birmingham is an anchor on its side. Yeah.
Yes.
So you've got The anchor
so not
casters.
Cardiff. Why did I think there was one in Cardiff?
Well,
I
I'm
just
just
like
looking also that there are some historic assay offices, so there have been more that have closed over the years. Shout out Norwich. Norwich had one, and that closed in 1702 apparently. York had one, Newcastle had one, Glasgow had one, Exeter and Chester. So yeah, maybe it was the C, Chester, Cardiff,
Maybe I just want there to be one in Cardiff. I've
Yeah.
never even been to Cardiff. So
There's one in Dublin as well, actually. That's the Irish assay.
okay. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so we have our 4. And you can send your work to any of them, can't you? Even if you don't live nearby. And they all work slightly differently and have kind of different vibes, but they all do the same essential service. So brilliant. Thank you for the question, April. All righty. Julia, would you like to have another go at a question with us?
Okay, so again, it's a metal clay question. So which of these 3 semi-precious stones cannot be open shell fired in a kiln in place with silver metal clay? So
okay, so just to get clarity on that. So these stones cannot go in a kiln.
Which one of these 3 cannot go open shelf? Okay. Which one of these 3? Yeah. Okay. I've got a white moonstone. I've got a rose quartz, and I've got labradorite.
Oh, it's a nice piece of labradorite.
Yeah. So only
I've got to do something with it.
But can be fired in a kiln.
2 of them can be open shelf fired in the kiln.
What does open shelf mean?
It means not buried in any carbon, no, just embedded in your piece and put in the kiln.
Okay, great.
And those caveats have to be there because there is, there are some things that you can bury in carbon to fire. But that's these 3. So which of these 3 cannot be fired in a kiln, embedded in metal clay?
Interesting. Well, I'd be really interested to hear what people's answers are, because when I look at them, I'm like, I don't know if I'd want to fire any of them in a kiln. But obviously you can fire 2 of them in a kiln, which is amazing.
Not necessarily that size.
Okay. Size could vary.
Size matters sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Anyone think they have the answer? We're all lost, Julia. We're all confused and lost. Yeah. Well, let's guess. Let's take some guesses. So I would say, I'm going to go with moonstone can't be fired.
Yeah, me too. I thought moonstone.
Okay. Tori, any other? Can just be a totally random guess. It's fine. Any other one?
I think labradorite, because it can be quite cracky, can't it? It's got lots of inclusions in it. But then I think moonstone does as well. But I'm going to go with labradorite. I wouldn't want you to put that in the kiln and ruin it.
Okay. Anna, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I don't know, honestly. I haven't tried firing any of those before, so it's exciting that it's possible. And I know there's a brilliant resource on which stones can be fired on that. So whenever I need it, I just look it up. So my first thought was also the moonstone, actually, but not for any particularly good reason. I don't know why. So,
yeah. Although I am thinking now that there was a piece that Julia made in one of her courses where we set the stone afterwards, and it was a rose quartz, which is, interesting. Why would she set it afterwards if it could have been kiln fired? But who knows? Julia, tell us, put us out of our misery.
Okay, so according to the most extensive breakdown of stones that can be fired in place, which is by Cool Tools in America, and it's kept up to date, so it's definitely worth seeking that out if you're going to work with stones and metal clay. You can fire. Let me just get the numbers here right. So you can fire moonstone in place. It fires at 599 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes. That's 110. No, that's 1,110 degrees Fahrenheit. So for 30 minutes. So you can actually fire that in place. That's very low. So that's why I specified fine silver, and you'd need a low fire fine silver to do that. Okay. Labradorite can be fired in place. It's 1200 degrees Fahrenheit or 649 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. But you have to be careful with them because, as Tori very rightly said, they can have inclusions, they can have air gaps and things like that. So you always have to be careful when you're firing natural gemstones, because of these sort of gaseous or liquid filled areas and that sort of thing. So it's always worth testing them first. Rose quartz, definitely not. So rose quartz, and any quartzes really can't be fired in place.
Wow, there we go. Every day's a school day, guys.
Amazed. I really thought quartz would just be sort of the most robust one. I don't know why.
Mm.
No, I think so, you know, it doesn't actually relate to the Mohs scale either, which is interesting. So it's very much about what they're made of as opposed to anything else. But yeah, the Cool Tools resource is definitely worth a read. And some things can be fired buried in carbon. Diamond is a good example. It can be buried in carbon because there's no oxygen in there as it's firing.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you, Julia. That was interesting. And now we know, guys, for next time we're firing metal clays with stones in. Brilliant. Okay. So next up, Tori, would you like to share a question?
Absolutely. So which precious metal has the chemical symbol PT? It's known for rarity and it's often used in quite high-end jewellery because it's really durable and resistant to tarnish.
Oh, I know. I didn't know, and then I did know. I think
should have the chemical symbol.
I also thought there was an assay office in Cardiff, so I may be wrong. But I think I know. Okay. Does everyone else know? Does anyone need to hear the question again? No, we all know. I think it's like precious metal. I think that was the bit that did it, you know. So who would like to share the answer? Anybody?
Platinum.
Yes. Yay, platinum.
Awesome. So it's got the chemical symbol PT. Wonderful. There we go. Chemistry lesson as well. Has anyone worked in platinum here before?
Yes, I have indeed.
Yes. Yeah. What was it like, April?
It's definitely different because it's got such a high kind of hardness and toughness to it, I guess. It almost feels sticky. It's harder to work. So even when you're sort of shaping, bending it, you know, you need to put a bit more pressure on it. And then even filing and things like that, the file almost sticks into it. So yeah, but it polishes up beautifully. And like Tori said, you know, it doesn't tarnish. It's very durable. So, you know, for things like engagement rings and stuff, it's sort of the top dog, really. So, yeah.
Amazing. I'll never forget at the London Jewellery School, we used to do classes where people came and make their wedding rings and things. And this lady came one time and she was making an anniversary present for her partner. It was their 60th wedding anniversary. And she made a huge platinum band with 60 diamonds set in it. She didn't set the diamonds, but it took 3 of us to bend this band because it was so thick to fit all of those diamonds. Luckily, he had quite a big ring size. And I'll also never forget walking across Hatton Garden with these 60 diamonds in my hand, being like, I cannot get burgled right now. I need to get there. But it was gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. So that's my main experience with platinum, is watching that come together. Brilliant question though, Tori. Thank you. And Anna, do you have another question for us?
Yeah, I do. And I'm going to give 3 different options because I think it's give 3 different options. So it's a kind of 1 in 3 chance if you don't know the answer. But what is the rarest gemstone in the world?
Ooh.
So the rarest gemstone in the world. So I've got some options. So there's muscovite.
Never heard of it.
Well, maybe that's because it's so rare. Muscovite.
Okay, great.
Painite, or alexandrite.
Interesting. I know one that it isn't.
What was the second one again?
It's painite, Painite.
Okay.
Never heard. Oh, I've heard about the third one, but the first two I've not heard of.
Interesting. Yeah, they sound kind of like planets that
Yeah.
are far away. I think I'm going to go with the first one because it just sounds a bit crazy. It sounds more like something that people will be like, let's call it this. Whereas the pay one seems a little bit more tame. So right, I have no idea. Anyone else have any thoughts? Does anyone know the answer?
I don't know, but I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go for Alexandrite. That's the only one I've heard of, but I know that it's excruciating price wise for something decent. I don't know whether that's because it's been sort of outmined. I can't remember, and perhaps maybe that makes it rarer. I don't know. That's my reasoning behind that one.
Awesome, great. Tori, what are your thoughts?
I'll go with the second one then.
Okay, just so we've got them all covered.
Yeah, I was going to
get it right.
I was going to go with the second one as well.
Okay, Anna, tell us, what is it?
Yeah, it is the second one. So 2 people are right. It's the painite. It holds the Guinness World Record for the rarest gemstone, but also the rarest mineral on Earth as well. There's apparently only 2 specimens of it.
Wow.
That's why we've never heard of it, because we can't use it.
What does it look like? Do you know? Like,
I don't know. Alexandrite
Doesn't look very nice.
It's a very rare gemstone that jewelers do use, but I know it is really very rare as well. So, yeah.
Do you say it doesn't look very nice, Tori's looking?
Oh no, so there is a couple of pictures of it, and it's nicer polished. It's red, dark red, but the one on Wikipedia is like just a brown lump. Not very nice at all.
A rare brown lump.
Yeah.
Very rare, very rare. Okay, awesome, love it. Great. I have a question. It is kind of business related, although specifically it's photography related. So my question is, if you took a photo of your jewelry and it had a blue cast on it, what setting would you need to change to make it look the right color? So this setting, just to give you a clue, could be changed on your camera or afterwards in the edit, and it's 2 words is the setting. I love the fit. Some people are like, yeah, I've got it. Other people are like, what are you talking about? So, and this is a really common thing, when you get your phone or your camera out and you're taking a picture and you think it looks great and everything's got that blue sort of tinge on it, and there's a setting that changes that. I'm going to go to the people who look like they don't know first, because I think it might get some interesting answers. Tori, what you seem back. What are your thoughts?
Perplexed. I think it's the 2 words that's confusing.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think it's something to do with light.
But yeah, that's not one of the words, but it's similar to one of the words. There's a similar word to light, which is the first word. It's like charades, isn't it?
Yeah.
Balance.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes. Yes. Well done. You got it.
Yeah.
Did everyone else have that one?
No, my brain just went completely blank. I knew it was one we were going to know, but yeah.
So Julia had it. The other 2 didn't. Very honest. Well done. So if you adjust the white balance, which you can do with your camera by sometimes there's a setting on the camera, or you can take a picture of something white in the same place and say, this is what white looks like, and it will auto adjust everything. Or if you've taken this beautiful photo shoot and then afterwards you think it's all blue, you can change it afterwards in editing by adjusting the white balance. Or sometimes it's called like the color temperature on like more simple programs. So yeah, top tip. Brilliant. Okay, we've done 2 questions each, which is awesome. So I have a little quick fire round. Although I'm just checking. Yeah, I've got a few questions left for my quick fire round. And then we'll kind of see how we get on. So for these ones, I want you to write down your answers, and then we'll do all of the answers afterwards, because they're kind of quick and hopefully easy. You either know the answer or you don't, I think, to these ones. Okay, so first question. What is the highest carat of gold? So gold comes in different carats. What is the highest carat you can get? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, that is the first question. Second question, what shape is a princess cut stone? So stones come in all different shapes and they have different names for them. So what shape is a princess cut stone? That is second question. Third question, moving swiftly through them, is quick fire. How many seasons of the Jeweller's Retreat are there? Hopefully you know this one, but no judgment if you don't, because we're here to tell you how many seasons of the Jeweller's Retreat are there. My other question doubled up with April's, so we might just leave it there. So just got 3 for the quick fire round. And in case anyone has one quick one that they want to add in.
What's the birthstone for December, or birthstones?
Okay, great. What are the birthstones for December? Any more? Okay, great. Well, that's a good quick fire round. We've got a good selection there. Okay, so question number 1. What is the highest carat of gold? Who thinks they know this one? Tori, go for it.
24.
Yes, 24 carat. Yes, I got on in there. Yeah, so the highest carat of 24 gold, and I'm reading here, this gold is 100% pure and doesn't contain any other metals, making it the purest gold available. This means it has 0 impurities and is usually softer than the lower carats like 9 carat, 14 carat, 18 carat, even 22. There are lots of different carats of gold, so 24 is like super soft. You probably wouldn't use it for something like a wedding or engagement ring because it would scratch, because it's that soft, but it is, you know, super gold colored. Who else had that one? We all had it, or we all know about gold. It's fine. Okay, so what shape is a princess cut stone? Who thinks they know the answer to this one?
I think I might, but I'm not sure.
Okay, go for it. It's okay to get it wrong.
Is it an oval shape?
No, but close.
Ah.
Close. Well, it's not that close, but it is a shape. So
If you made
That's very clear, Jess. Thanks.
it would be there. Yeah. Square. Square.
Yes, it is a square. Yes, I did think that was the hardest one though. I was going to go for trillion, and trillion's quite an easy because it's triangle, trillion, triangle. Yeah. Princess is one that I think if you don't use it very much, you wouldn't necessarily know the name. But yes, it is a square. Lots of tricky corners for setting, but beautiful. How many seasons of the Jeweller's Retreat are there? Anybody know?
I think 2.
Yeah. Yes, you are correct. There are 2. We filmed one and then we filmed another, which is just about to come out. I wasn't going to let Anna Campbell answer that question. But brilliant. You guys are smashing the quick fire round. And April, you had the birthstone for December.
Yeah. Tanzanite. And I believe another one is turquoise, actually. I believe it is, yeah. So that a lot of the months have 2, don't they? Or 2 or 3.
They do, yes. Actually, I was looking at this just before, and December seems to have the most options, because it seems to be anything that's kind of blue or purple can be in December. So on some charts, it's Tanzanite. That was quite a big one. Also blue topaz, blue zircon, and I wouldn't be surprised if turquoise was thrown in there as well. So anything blue is December, which is quite interesting because I don't associate December with blue that much. It's more like Christmas colours, isn't it? But Yeah, interesting. Brilliant. Well, that brings us to the end of our quiz and our questions. Thank you guys so much for taking part. It was great fun. I definitely learned some things. I hope you guys at home had fun listening as well to everything. We hope you have a wonderful Christmas. And yeah, thank you all for joining us and being part of it today.
Happy Christmas, everyone.
Christmas.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Jess. Bye.